Female physiotherapist death at Umahi's house. Minister told to step down. Serious allegations. The African Democratic Congress called for an independent investigation into the death of Mary Abila, who passed away inside Work Minister's David Umahi's residence. ADC's National Publicity Secretary Malam Bolaji Abdullahi demanded that Umahi step aside pending the outcome of any inquiry into the incident. That's the same thing to do, but we all know that he's not going to step aside. The party accused the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration of shielding officials from accountability and described the government as a cabinet of cover-up. Yes, Umahi, Bajabi Amila, these people should step down. That was how they covered up for him. The African Democratic Congress said this on Wednesday, July 15, demanded a full independent investigation into the controversial death of Mary Abila. The ADC alleged that the federal government's response so far has fallen dangerously short of what public accountability requires. ADC National Spokesperson Bolaji Abdullahi shared a statement issued by the opposition party calling for a formal inquiry conducted entirely outside the influence of the executive arm of government. The ADC also demanded that a comprehensive autopsy be carried out and that its findings be made public. The party insisted that Umahi must immediately vacate his ministerial post while any investigation is ongoing. Abdullahi argued that it was untenable for a cabinet member to continue in office while questions surrounding a death in his personal residence remain unresolved. Abdullahi stated in the party's release, he said the Minister of the Federal Republic cannot have a murder-related scandal hanging on his neck and still carry on with his business as usual. Welcome to Nigeria. The ADC said that fundamental questions about Abila's presence at the minister's home has not been answered, including the precise nature of her official assignment, why she was staying at a private ministerial residence, and what circumstances led to her death, and why she was naked too. Beyond the specifics of the Abila's case, the ADC used the statement to mount a broader attack on what it described as a pattern of institutional protection afforded to officials of the Tinubu administration whenever scandals emerge. The party alleged that the government's instinct whenever serious allegations surfaced against its own members was to construct political shield rather than allow independent scrutiny. Abdullahi claimed that official statement from the government has been issued with bias baked in, allegedly arriving before any independent process had begun. It has now become impossible to ignore the impression that this administration now operates a system of scandal insurance for its senior officials. Yes, go and commit any atrocities, nothing will happen to you. That's what they are always doing in their party. And proximity to power appears to guarantee protection from accountability. The ADC concluded by extending condolence to Abila's family, stating that her death deserves more than official assurances. He said their daughter deserves dignity, her family deserves the truth, and Nigeria deserves a government that understands that accountability is not an inconvenience to be managed but the very foundation of public trust. You know, go hear that one. It is well. It is really well. May I so rest in peace. Ubang says another promotion for David Umahi in their occultic coven for being a loyal member. Somebody shouts more blood. Ugonaya says, and that is Tinubu's APC for the citizens. Tinubu is hoping to go into a second tenure election next year. Nigerians have all expected the president to move swiftly to ask Umahi to step aside to allow for an independent investigation. Here, he is not doing so. In short, Nigeria needs leaders and not murderers and ritualists or drug peddlers, because that's what all of them are. Bible says Nigeria elites are problems of this country. If someone drinks water in his house and collapses, early to blame Tinubu. If rain falls on market, it's Tinubu. But the affair in your own backyard and background is not your own concern. Act unity. What's this one saying? Okay, Commander says Umahi and Bajabi Amila should step aside. Yes, to make for transparent investigations on their serious cases. Tinubu is a terrible leader for keeping quiet over these serious crimes. One is rushing to bury a 26-year big yansh, big breast girl who died during massaging, while the other used his power to imprison a man accused of a crime in which Baja is an accused. Which can contribute this? Which can contribute this? Charles Ozemena says, step down for here. Nigeria politicians step. Says who? And for what? When NSAS matter came out, did any of them step down? The matter will die. I'm telling you, they'll just sweep it under the carpet. Another says, my the most handsome man, the David of our generation, having a 26-year-old girl as a professional physiotherapist in his care. Maybe small thing. Story. Every 9 says Umahi knows what happened to that lady. Before uncle. Mr. John says that is the right thing because he's not above the law. Yes. Joko says, no, how can Tinubu remove his professor of human infrastructure? I mean, road and flyover infrastructure. And lion of south is, note, lion is a carnivorous animal. Adoze says, where are those aides that attack PO for leaving billions of naira for incoming government? May we hear you, please? They no go come outside talk for where? Ozo says, if not that Nigeria is a corrupt country, mine must step down until he is proved innocent. Mani says, what are the whole family doing in Dave house? There must be a connection between the family and Dave. I don't understand which whole family are in Dave house. It was only the girl. The way he narrated the incident means he was present. We have heard from the friend and his former EDCD facilitator. I beg. People says, let's see if Itobi will have rest for these tyrants. This is well. My listeners, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.